Both are. How jolly. There's something quite astounding you must see. It's the Weaver. Thanks to the Starstone you've collected, she's mended a portion of the tapestry. Look, a new story has been rewoven into time. A new portion of history appears to us for the first time in not even I know how long. Let us look together. Let us see what the Weaver has woven.
Long ago, two great generals led mankind in a terrible war. The dreaded Void Dragon threatened all of existence, and man and gods alike joined swords to stop it. The two generals were celebrated as the rulers of all, and even the gods paid them tribute.
I greet you, Honorable Master of the House. I am the Shepherd of Elements, and I control how they may flock towards your most imperial presence. So, if it pleases you, command me, and the elemental aspect of your choice shall once more settle among these holy halls. And that is your final choice?
Yes, indeed. That is our final choice.
Thy will be done.
I wonder who awaits you in the next chamber. I wonder what they'll say.
Cold in here, it hurts. I think my very words may freeze and fall to the ground.
Guardians mustn't listen to him. His every word is poison, such as no serpent has ever known.
They glow with a brilliant flame. Even you cannot snuff it out.
Oh, but he sides with that which has no name. I know he does. He is betrayal in fact.
Bones knit, skin heals.
And will try to do so again. I fear their will is weak. Too weak still.
By the hoary beard of Boreas, can it be? You've come home. It's about time, isn't it? Your quarters have been invaded by all manner of madness. Does my brilliant frost beguile you? I am ice, of course. A soldier of ice, to be explicit, and this is where I have dwelt across many eons. Here I wait for the day, if ever, I am called to serve the realm again. Could I be more explicit? This place is of your essence. Can't you feel it in your very bones, as I do in every crystal of frost within me? You belong here, and this place belongs to you. I cannot tell you why or how, but I know it to be true. Of course, alongside my opposite, the eternal fire, we were summoned in service of a goal greater than the timeless battle between heat and cold. Yes, together we sought victory against the void. You can thank our great army for all of this, you know. For existence itself. Those were times of great proportions, the forces of nothingness pitted against those of life, and naught but ourselves marching to the beat set by our great leaders could stop the void's encroachment. Your home, your rules, naturally. What would you like to know? Off to explore your abode, are you? Very good. I'm sure there's something around here that will jog your...
To see you on the shelter plane. A home away from home, most certainly. I can't think so. They are yours now. The chosen, like you, got it in one. Wonderful place, isn't it? I find that a dollop of cold helps to concentrate when I'm writing my histories. Perhaps it will inspire you too. Much can be learned from elementals. Their forces are primal and ancient. Wield them, and like the imp said to the ballista operator, Like the imp said to the ballista. Are you now? The White Witch of Lacula Forest, is it? Lovely woman, Ikara. Can't imagine her getting caught up in affairs of the Source, though, let alone murder. But if she has, I fear she may be in grave danger indeed. Do look for her in the Lacula Woods, won't you? It would be such a shame if something untoward were to happen to her. It shall be my pleasure. Familiar indeed. Exactly who these heroes might have been, or why Starstone is reviving their tale, I cannot say. But the resemblance of circumstances is quite striking, to say the least. Oh, do collect more stones, won't you? I'm all a jitter with excitement. Who could they have been? What does it mean? And why, dear Source Hunter, can you alone restore these threads to our memories?
How might I serve our mission? In the the drift, accept, ask, and I shall answer, if I can. Threads I weave and tales I see, all will I tell. Can the answer duty? She is one. He is the instigator. The threads tell me I can clearly read that. But how can this be now that you stand the son of Frost? How mighty he was, a giant that lived for war. He and the aspect of fire, what enemies they used to be. But you sealed their allegiance and their friendship so that together you could overcome the dark that was spreading. But of course, what part would you like to see? But of course, long ago.
What can I do for you, do you now? Yours is this mistake to make, Hunter. And yours...
Careful, comrade. But what'll you do if a parliament of Source Owls swoops down only moments after I depart? Well, I reckon I'll keep a lookout on the shelter plain until you lot come.
You call to Ulgraf. He awaits you. A wide smile showing all teeth and gums lightens the rogue's face as he gathers his belongings and prepares to join you.
Heard any good tales, my friend? May the hunt continue!
You call to Wolgraff. Wolgraff gives a curt, disgruntled. You call to Wolgraff.
What can I do for you? Only fools believe.
By the hoary beard of Boreas, can it be? You've come home. It's about time, isn't it? Your quarters have been invaded by all manner of madness. Off to
I'm warm as fresh apple pie.
Warm as dragon's breath!
I'm warm as fresh apple pie.
Ask freely, my friend.
Heard any good tales, my To the homestead, then.
Ready to advance? Onward.
Warm as dragon's breath.
To the barracks! March! Recruits! That was sloppier than Thanksgiving.
I hope your quest fares well, dear. By all means. And what might those be?
Sorry, sir.
The immaculate amulet fits perfectly inside.
I'm a fool. Source Hunter. I'm beyond King Brack. I've done it. I'll tell you, resurrect the last. It was during Brackus was. I promised I was given her the conduit. My faith, the gold, the undead, curse her. She claimed it was she. What could the conduit? Now the conduit's you can defeat the unholiness I've raised, Source Hunter. You can set.
So, I'm in Theleron's position.
One who comes to watch the spectacle, to see the sovereign us ascend again. Or perhaps... Stand by. Precious life return to
Ah! I'm burning!
See the white light?
My life is ebbing away.
A stitch in time, eh, my friends? Why fire one when you can fire them all?
Rain nurtures our land.
Does anybody else smell smoke?
The sky will fall!
My heart beats too slowly to sustain me. A million tiny pieces. Sodden all the way to my boot soles.
I can smell your fear.
You look a bit under the weather.
Would you care to hear a little tale?
Slowing salvo!
Without aid, I will expire soon.
What do you think, Source Hunter? Shall I start shredding from the top or the bottom?
think I'll go for the eyes this time.
I can see the white light.
Of the Seven!
Stay back, my friend.
And that is the final end of Brachus Rex.
May his soul remain in the depths of hell for good.
Fortune! The Seven grant abundance! Sigurd's beard, what a find!
The king is dead. Long live... well, not he. He came close though, Brachus Rex. Close to fulfilling his dream. Dormant he would lie until loyal followers that persisted through centuries would restore him to life afresh. As a ghoul, no more was he reborn. Exactly the type of base necromancy I abhor. But now that he is dust at our feet, I can't help but feeling a morsel of pity. The work of ages, the desire beyond death, we undid with a simple stroke of the sword. No beauty? Oh, how you are mistaken. Life, it is such a precious commodity. So precious indeed that death is dealt in droves to merely postpone it, to make it cross the boundaries set by nature. There is much simple irony to be found in these exploits, but at the heart of it lies an equally simple endeavor, which is to overcome the most primal of fears, the dread that prompts philosophy and religion both, and that is the fear of death. To overcome death, if it were possible, is to attain victory over the unconquerable. Such a victory, what a thing of beauty it would be. Still, all this talk about immortality hits the raw and ragged nerve of passing time with relentless momentum. Onward, onward. To be idle is to die.
What am I going to do in this madhouse? I ought to be serving my king in Hunter's Edge. sure is a lot going on behind this door.
Source Hunter, is it safe? Have you done it? Please tell me that you have sent Brachus Rex to the grave once and for all. Magnificent. Oh, truly wondrous. I feel like a prisoner set free. Free to bask in the daylight once more. I was so fearful. Petrified almost in the knowledge that I might see him again. You see, I knew the Mad King. In fact, I served him. I'm a wizard hunter, and that means I've seen many centuries pass me by. They weren't always happy ones, and you may take that as an understatement. I was once under Brachus's thrall, bound to him by perfidious magic. Life was an endless cycle of servitude, torture, and humiliation. Only after the first source hunters skewered him like the pig he was did my nightmare end. As you can imagine, I was afraid beyond all measure that the fiend would enslave us all once more. That I'd be cast back into the rank pit that was my past. But he hasn't, and he never will. Thank you. I will never forget this act of valor. So you have heard of her? Yes. I knew Cassandra. She was a sweet girl when we met. Hardly a woman yet. The very opposite of her deranged brother, who did not hesitate to butcher her for his own benefit. We were fast friends in those days. Aye, more than friends. Until he took her down to the dungeons, and she returned a woman no longer. A twisted lich had she become, with a twisted mind to match her grisly new shape. He remorselessly and relentlessly sought ways to cheat death. Cassandra and he were soul-forged, so he knew that if she would die, he would die. And so he turned her into a lich. Turned her into a creature neither living nor dead, so that he could break the soul forge without destroying himself in the process. Giving the matter no further thought, he rid his sister of her humanity, so as to rid himself of a spell that could threaten him. Such a man was Brachus Rex. Immortal in his mind, and immortal to be in effect. As your swords and spells have demonstrated, though, to this world's everlasting contentment, his deranged fancy was not to be. I don't know. When the Source Hunters besieged Brachus's castle, I sought only to escape. I never heard of her again. Yes, I longed for freedom, for release. When I saw my chance, I ran and never looked back. You have foiled one of Leandra's vile designs, that much is certain. But I highly doubt you forestalled her endgame, whatever that may be. It is therefore imperative that we find her sister Ikara. As you've learned from the accursed duo that was Jake and Evelyn, the White Witch is somehow involved. I will vouch for her gentle nature, but alas, I cannot vouch for her current state of mind. Has she been corrupted by her sister, perhaps? Or have they become enemies locked in a murderous game of cat and mouse? There's no way of knowing until you find her. What I do know is that she lives in a cabin deep in Lakula Forest to the north. If anywhere, that is where I advise your travels should take you next. Very well, Hunter. My gratitude is yours, as is my service.
That's it! Brachus Rex is dead! The way he spoke about our forebears was horrific. I wonder how many Source Hunters had to die before the Source King was deposed. A second spent mourning the dead is a second spent not avenging them. We have no time to mourn when there are sorcerers doing evil as we speak.
Drenched! overheating here?
Divines doubly bless you, friend. This cannot be. Can it? You have found one of the sources of the undead and sent it back into oblivion. But that is fantastic. Never have I... Hope breaks through after 2 years of absolute darkness. Cyseal remains under threat, yes, but finally it has been proven even the dead can be vanquished. To think, Theliron too was behind these horrors all along. A man who treated the wounds I obtained in battle, who comforted me when my agony was great. Such a pity. Cyseal is in your debt, Hunter. I, and the Legion too. Brachus Rex is dead, and no one but you could have done this glorious deed. So good to see you. I shall be very glad to share what info... By all means, my Legionnaires. We lost another for 2 years. Still,
Recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew.
Ah, the sword. So, let me get my belly. Anyway, be the... I'm Captain... if you must. What'd you take me for? We may well stand on unholy ground right now. I don't see how my... I heard she has a cottage in the forest north of the city. I'm...
The rabbit gives you a forlorn look. It seems as if it wants to speak to you, but can't. The rabbit nods and points to the northeast.
We meet again, and well met you are. Did you know I've constructed a little theory about you both? Yes, I have indeed. The theory is this. You are not you. Or rather, you are you, but you is not all there is to you. And that goes for both of you. But I see you're staring at me like a cow stuck in an astronomy lesson, so let me start again. I think that you carry 2 souls inside of you. One that belongs to the mortal human beings that you are now, and one that belongs to certain someones with whom we've both become acquainted. You remember that segment of the tapestry your efforts helped to mend, don't you? The 2 great generals? How they led the battle against the Void's first attack on Rivellon? It would explain a lot, wouldn't it? Your connection to the Void, your presence here at the end of time. True, the mystery of Starstone remains, but at this rate, we'll have it sorted out in 2 shakes of Ahu's tail. As luck would have it, a new portal awaits. Perhaps answers do as well. So, onward.
A second soul? Do you think it could be true? I myself don't believe a word of it. That historian has lost more marbles than I have souls. That much I assure you. Quite right. That historian has certainly lost more...
I wonder who awaits you in the...
What have we here? A study?
Wonderful. About time you got an education.
Guardians. Dear Guardians. When I see your faces, it is like the barriers of time tumble in upon themselves. But oh, how my heart aches when I think of the duty you adopted. It was more than even the gods had the right to ask of you. You did not want it, but you took it upon yourselves nonetheless, though many wailed and many wept. In a ruptured world, wherein all resolve had crumbled, you renounced life and liberty to stand guard and protect every last morsel of creation. When I despair, I think of your sacrifice. In my darkest hours, I cherish the resolve that was you.
It's a good thing to be cherished.
Even though, apparently, we had to give up life and liberty for that to happen.
holy light, offspring of heaven, firstborn. About me. The Guardian's first disobedience, and the fruit of that forbidden box, whose depths brought death into this world, and all our woe with loss of source, I remember. I come no spy with purpose to explore or to disturb the secrets of your realm, but secrets of my own I bring. The secrets of another world, perhaps not lawful to reveal. Which way I fly is here. Myself am here, but in the lowest deep. A lower deep still threatening to devour this homestead opens wide. Whence thou returnest, and whither wentest, I know. Direction hardly signifies. To ask or search, I blame thee not. For Rivellon is as the book of the gods before thee set, wherein to read his wondrous works and learn his seasons, hours or days or months or years. I give not you for lost. From this descent, celestial virtues rising will appear more glorious and more dread than from no fall. I give not you for lost. From this descent, celestial virtues rising will appear more glorious and more dread than from no fall. I give not you for lost. From this descent, celestial virtues rising.
My map is slowly filling up with secrets.
hoary beard of Boreas, can it be? You've come home. It's about time, isn't it? Your quarters have been invaded by all manner of madness.
On the shelter plane. A home away, it shall be my pleasure. Like the imp said to the ballista operator, shoot, most certainly. No more than that she is privy to secrets even I have a hard time getting to the root of. The Weaver told me she knows about starstones, where they are hiding in the dark. She'll ask you for a price for such information, this sharer of secrets. But then again, that information is quite priceless, is it not? Those scallywags! They are diluting starstone with blood magic? Vile fiends! This sect, it must be stopped. Their adulteration of starstone could hamper our efforts to undo the boy. You have to trace this sect back to the very pit where it burrows. Bloodstone. The horror. Magic as dark as this. It feeds the void where we seek to starve it.
How might I serve our mission? Ask, and I shall answer. If I can, threads I weave, and tales I see, all will I tell. Her story is the story of 1,000 tales. She has traveled the celestial sphere that is Rivellon more extensively than even the historian has. Once upon a time, her favorite words, she was of incalculable importance during the wars against the Void Guards that threatened the creation of the gods. Wherever they hid, she found them. What plans they thought most secretive, she knew them. Teller of Secrets is her title, for in her world there are none.
I am the last chance.
To do, but what'll you do?
You call to Wolgraff. A wide smile shows.
The rabbit gives you the rabbit nods.
With an intense look of anger on his face, Wolgraff writes something down and gives it to you.
Sorcery. Something took that animal's voice. Let us find it and kill it.
A few hand signals follow. A talking hand puppet, a wagging finger, and a cutting motion at the throat. Clearly, Woolgraf is in no mood to talk to the bunny's tormentor. He wants proper revenge.
Hail, Source Hunter. Good to see you've reached Lacula Forest. There were times when I came to this neck of the woods just to whiff its wholesome air. Alas, that it is thick with sorcery these days. It surrounds us here, like an invisible mist. Takes cat's eyes to see it creep. Even so, it's plain as day to the east, all about Ikara's cabin. Immaculates beset it, no doubt under Leandra's orders. If she has ordered such thorough defences of her sister's cabin, we may be certain that whatever lies within will be a prize more precious than butter-baked plaice. That means Ikara herself must be there, Hunter. And it is essential that you find her. Only she can shed light on the details of Leandra's plans. Ha! Zigzags would see you dash rather than mosey. But matters such as these require a thoughtful approach. Leandra and her cronies may be lunatics all, but they're far from brainless. So be wary, Hunter, and be safe.
Poor man. It seems he was eaten by a beast.
Well, partially eaten, to be more precise.
Did you see that? A shadow just sprang to life.
Strange magic indeed. Perhaps we're nearing the White Witch's lair.
How about you close your eyes for a bit? Have a rest. Close my eyes in the middle of the cooler forest. Chances are I'll never open them again. No, we must remain vigilant.
Ah, the Source Hunter. It is my greatest pleasure to announce to you that we Immaculates have captured the feared White Witch and quarantined her house of horrors. Yes, the greatest known threat to Rivellon has been neutralized, thanks in no small part to you, Source Hunter. Your activities in Sicil drove the snake to her den, and that's where we Immaculates sprang our trap. I am a proud Immaculate, sworn to use my summoner's expertise in service of the goddess's one way and the greater good. Ah, the High Counselor of Sicil. We mourned his tragic death. Yes, every Immaculate honors the memory of that noble man. Still, Source Hunter, I am sworn on my life to guard this quarantine. I serve a higher authority than yours, and will not waver in my duty. I would be remiss not to do my part to close that terrible chapter of the Counselor's legacy. Go on then, Source Hunter. But please tell no Immaculate I let you pass, or it will be my life.
What's that? I think there are hidden foes ahead.
Are you so desperate for company that you've taken to befriending fungi? Well, we're glad to hear it. Oh, somehow we doubt that very much. Have you ever seen a dragon's pajamas? A rat in a Sunday hat? No, Source Hunter. We do believe this life hasn't finished surprising you. Not in the least. It's quite a lovely sort of barrier, isn't it? Who doesn't enjoy a gentle, breezy motion against one's backside after all? Then again, we suspect it's been hoisted up by some not-so-savoury characters, and we happen to know just how to remove it. The only trouble is finding the right sort of clever, sort of intrepid sort of person to entrust such a secret to. Here's what we propose. We've a fresh batch of 3 brain teasers hot off our thinking caps. Perhaps, if you can answer them correctly, we might find you spirited enough to entrust with the barrier's deepest, darkest secrets. But it isn't all fun and games. We hardly offer second chances to the beriddled. If you give us a single false answer, we'll clam up like morning glories at midnight. So, do you have what it takes? As is your right. I must say, though, that I've never before seen a chicken so perfectly formed into the shape of a human. What's your secret? Well, That particular topic just happens to be our forte. We suppose we could start flapping our gills as easy as summer grass, but where would be the fun in that? We do so love a good brain teaser after all. And it just so happens we've a fresh batch of 3 riddles. Perhaps if you can answer each, and then again, it isn't all fun and games, as is your right. It's quite a... Then again, here's what we... But it isn't all fun and games. This is better news than the Orc Queen misplacing her thumbscrew. But enough delays. Let us begin. Your first riddle begins thus. The ravenous brute tore down my chartreuse gown, ripped out my silken hair by its roots, wrenched my children from me, and fed me to the hogs. Who am I?
That's right. An ear of corn fits perfectly.
Bravo! Bravo! Bravissimo! An ear of corn indeed. Can you imagine a sheep in a chartreuse gown? A pumpkin with silken hair? The fantasies of a fool. Now, on to our second riddle. And this one's sure to stump you. I cannot lie, I cannot lay, but only lie. Who am I?
A stone. All right, we'll do it.
Ha! We knew we weren't to be bested. There's no riddler among us like a... Sorry, but that goose has sailed. You clearly aren't the right sort of clever, sort of intrepid sort of person we can entrust such secrets to for free. Then again, 2,500 lovely, shiny somethings might incline...
If anything, it ought to pay us for deigning to speak with it.
Well, we never. To be insulted in our own forest? That'll be quite enough of that.
That's right. A stone. Fits perfectly.
You've done it again! I'm thrilled. I'm amazed. I'm liable to present the very last riddle. This one will blow you out of your stockings, so hold on tight. I've a neck as long as twice the width of a toad's tail, as many eyes as half the number of seasons per annum. I'm known to cause hurricanes in the Far East merely by taking off 2 minutes too late. Who...
All right, we'll do it your way.
Ha! We knew we weren't to be bested. There's no riddler among us like a fun... person who tried to solve that riddle puffed away in a small impish huff, mumbling about space-time. But not you. You stuck it out until the very end, you crafty little so-and-so. So, what would you like to know? One thing we know for certain. This barrier doesn't belong here. The wizard Maradino knew as much when he started poking around here. He developed a spell to remove it, but his fancy was caught elsewhere before he bothered to implement it. Down the spell dropped, and up we scooped it. Unfortunately, we aren't quite human enough to get it to work. But you've proven yourself just the right sort of clever, sort of intrepid sort of person we'd love to entrust such a secret to. We thought you'd never ask. What would you like to know? Some call her the Guardian of Lucula, and by our estimations, she's more than earned the title. She's a healing witch, concerned mostly with the safety of the living souls, animals and plants alike, of this forest. Been here since even before our great-great-great-great-grandmother, Francisca Toadstool the 44th, can recall. We've long lodged adjacent to her little cabin, and she used to greet us with a "How do you do" every morning. We do hope she's not entangled in anything unsavory. What a shame it'd be if someone with a penchant for heavy-handed hoe-wielding moved in. That doesn't sound like her at all, no. Much more interested in patching things up than tearing them down, that one. Then again, it's hard to tell on what stalk a person truly stands until you've seen them at the end of their rope. Isn't that so? We suppose if someone held a sword to our caps, we'd fight them with every last spore we had. Somewhere in her cabin, as far as we know. The last we saw her, she and her apprentice Almina were rushing inside, whispering to one another. They seemed rather anxious. Perhaps they knew that those Immaculates were on their trail. A group of them followed some time after and erected the barrier around the cabin. We haven't seen the White Witch or Almina since. I sung of chaos and eternal night, taught by the heavenly muse to venture down the darkest descent and up to reascend. Excuse us, we had something lodged in our windpipe. I sung of chaos. Oh, somehow, one thing we thought you'd never ask. What